Hello again, folks. Here in the scene of one of my most favourite post-game celebrations. This is the Redruth away changing room. It's a snug little place, but we managed to nick a win here with Old Colfians one year somehow. And yeah, still very fond memories of celebrating it in here. Now we're going to walk through and go and see if we can find some nice folk from the Redruth Club. Very tight corridors again through here. It's quite intimidating. Bright red wall. And we're going to find... Here he is.
Right,
it's,
I'll shake your hand. We'll go for that.
Yeah. It's, let's get the mirror there. It's Mr. Peter Joyce. Pete, how are you?
Yeah, very good. Nice to meet you. Congratulations on making it all the way here from Campbell.
Thanks. It's it's been a little trek so far. Now we just had a little chat about rugby stats and this, that, and the other. Yeah. Apparently you're not the man to talk to, but who would have been? Darren
Jakes is your man for stats. Yeah, I phoned him last night and he briefed me, most of which I've forgotten, but I'll try and recall some of the stats he gave me. About games when we would have played and the likes. I know Marla played in one of the games that we played in.
Yeah.
You would have come on for yourself as a loose head, and then later you had to come back on. You had to come back on again because I think it was MR. I think it was Mark Richards he tripped, but I'm the wrong man to ask. But yeah, he had to come back off for a yellow card. So
yeah, he thwarted quite a dangerous attack. With,
But did you win? Did you win that day?
We did, but it was really tight. It was really tight. It was less than a score.
I was just saying to Craig Bonds and yourself, I don't like your ratio here. Like you're about 50-50, man, which there's not many of them.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate. Yeah, like I just said in there, we absolutely nicked a win when we were here with Colfians. But it was.
Is that the one we were talking about with dodgy touch judges and the likes?
Could have been. Could have been.
But yeah, this is the home sheds. This is place to be on a Saturday. You're absolutely pumping if you're in here and it's pre-game. I'm sure you've heard it across the road.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, oh bloody hell.
Yeah. Do you get a big atmosphere up in here? Is that always the case?
When you were kids, it was all like stamping your feet on the floor and stuff like that. But now it's just music and it's just like like most home sheds and good clubs. It's just pumping. And the guys just itching to get out on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking of that, let's go out on the field.
Yeah.
After you, mate, and you can.
On the way.
Is it all right if I show the Redruth values up here on the wall as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So nicely spelled with the name.
Dodgy there,
yeah. Respect, endeavour, discipline, ruthless, unity, tenacity, honesty. Decent values. That. Well done. I like that. As we go.
The Wall of Legends. I was saying earlier that there could be like another 100 legends on this wall. That you're probably going to struggle to get it in, but.
There we go.
Everyone remembers the players they play with as legends, don't they? So I think as you look names from further back, they're probably even more of a legend in some respects, because to be remembered 30 years on is very different to being remembered 10 years on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a tricky thing, isn't it, when you're dealing with opinions like that?
So I'll tell you a good little story here. When I was running out to play Manchester when they were flying. Up here, probably what that chip is there. And we've just talked about how pumping we were, and I have literally just caught the bottom of my stud on that, and I'm here, and Aaron Penberthy, who's Dave Penberthy's son, is a ball boy at that time, and even he's just looked at me like, oh dear, and I've been on the floor for about 0.6 of a second, but I bounced back up and got on there. But the whole first 10 minutes of that game, which we got a good pumping in, I've been thinking, I hope no one saw me coming out of that tunnel.
Did you land on the floor?
I was on the floor, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was literally, like I said, a millisecond. But it was enough for the ball boys to see it. And I don't know if anyone would have seen it in the stand, but certainly the subs and the ball boys saw it, and I certainly heard about it. So.
Were there people behind you as well?
Oh,
just running over your back.
It was a top of the league game, match day, Redruth. Yeah, this whole stand was there, but just hopefully not too many saw us down for milliseconds, but plenty of people did.
But long enough. Okay, I'm going to take a walk on the pitch. I'll see you down there in the corner in a second. So yeah, this is the Rec at Redruth, and the grounds here in Cornwall are just so atmospheric. The guys were just saying to me that, and it's certainly the case when I played here, that they felt that people coming here, it was kind of their cup final a little bit, because it's always such a good atmosphere, and quite often it's like the social that went with it, because you're away for a weekend in Cornwall. So, the games down here were always so competitive, and I think certainly, like I said, the teams that I played here, we always put up a good performance here. Didn't always win. I mean, Pete was being kind there, 1, 2 out of 4 while I've been here as a player. But yeah, just incredible ground to play, and you can feel the crowd when you're here. We're going to talk about this guy in a minute, but this is the Terry Pryor stand. We're going to talk about him a bit when we get inside. And of course, Redruth, the ground itself, it's very famous, in particular for one corner of the ground. And we'll ask the guys to talk about that in a second, because I'm walking downhill to it now, and I think that's going to be quite a factor in why it's so famous and things that have gone on here. And we'll see how we go. But yeah, that was the cornerback up there with Dave Lewis, snuck in for the winning try one year. 2 horrible loopy passes on a soaking wet day. He somehow managed to gather it and slide in the corner for the win. It's another lovely day though. Bit too warm to be playing rugby on a day like today though. Okay fellas, here we go. Joined with another Peter and Craig Bonds. Come on in. So tell me about this corner.
Well, Hellfire Corner, I mean, the club's been in existence since 1875. It was originally just down the road where Tesco's is now, and the old brewery Leeds. And can't quite remember how the name Hellfire Corner come about, but it's been synonymous with, this is where the hardcore fans stand here.
Okay.
And they offer friendly advice to referees and officials. And but yeah, we're quite lucky. Most league games, 700-800 people, which is the best in our league, certainly. Yeah. Ground's very famous, you know, it's hosted various internationals over the years. 90s, All Blacks against the Southwest, 14,500 people.
Wow.
And back in the late 60s, when the county championship was big, we had the Lancashire here in the semi-final, 24,500 people.
Wow, were they stood on the shoulders and stuff?
Temporary stand up there, but
okay.
This was in the days before safety and... and Russia have played here, Tonga have played here, so... back in the 70s, third largest capacity ground in the country after Twickenham and Leicester.
Wow.
So, a lot of history. And,
whole load of history. And just looking over here, we've got Hell's Kitchen and the Hellfire Bar in the corner. Nice little touch, that. Okay, Craig, I'll come over to you now.
The other thing to note in this corner, the ground slopes down to here, and if I'm right in saying, is a 15-metre drop from that corner.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, yes, looking up there, you can see. Yeah,
and the ball tends to find its way into this corner. Tactically, that's one of our little stick the opposition in the corner by their own line, and this area sees a real hostile element to the game. And scrummaging's always interesting, right? Pete will know better, but it's like, scrummaging you know on top of the hill and at the bottom, the angles. Which way don't you want to go?
You don't want to be playing up out of this way. You want to be.
You want to be scrummaging down.
Yeah,
I mean it's tight head. Everything's on you here.
It's physics basically, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It only takes like a few centimetres of elevation, plus the fact you got it against you, and it's a tough day. You keep on getting kicked into this corner, and then it can be a tough place to get.
Yeah, I've been down here quite a few times during my time. So I was just telling the guys up there about how teams that come here, it's almost like they tour or they're social, and how that affects the games. How was that from your perspective?
Well, we really appreciated our home, and still appreciate our home support. We are one of the best supported teams still, even now in their leagues, and we get very good attendance comparatively against, looking at other teams around the country in our league. But that can play two ways, because teams raise their game here. They like the atmosphere coming out of the tunnel. We always felt that there was something on the line with our home reputation, and teams coming here, they always looked at Redruth as a real scalp, and that obviously helped raise the level of performance of away teams. And also, if you've got teams at the end of the year on their team social, that could play the other way. There are one eye on Newquay and the social afterwards.
Yeah,
which
they'd turn up with like armbands on and stuff, and you'd know maybe their head wasn't in the right place. You're right, they know they're safe, and they come in with like corks on their hat and armband. You think, well, hopefully it could be a good day for us today.
And what about the travel as well? You were telling me about certain away games some years.
So in National 1, our local derby one year was Stourbridge.
Sorry, I'll get into that.
Was Stourbridge, which was a good
Yeah, and it was
5 or 6 hours.
their furthest away trip was us. So it was our local game. It was their furthest slog. So I think that says it all about playing in national leagues for someone so far west.
And the contrast in the national leagues for us of having such a strong home record because of the travel that teams had to come here, but obviously there's the opposite factor that we have to go a long way away. But also I think back in the day, bus journeys, coming home, sharing some social time together.
It makes you more insular, obviously, but the reality is it can be hard work. You've got to get the end of every second Friday off work or whatever. But it's not, it's not to be moaned about. It's just part and parcel. We're lucky enough to live down here where people come on holiday.
And the amount of time we spent together, we were close. We had a lot of good friendships, strong friendships forged on that travel.
Yeah. I always remember getting to.
That's the right phrase.
I remember getting to Doncaster Village Hotel or whatever, and people finishing a game of euchre. And we've just been on the bus for however long, but they want to finish a game of euchre or brag or whatever we're playing.
Cornish card game euchre.
Just crazy that we aren't just itching to get off the bus. We just we'll finish this one and we'll go in. There's no point queuing at the reception, and that's genuinely how it is when things are going well, and it tends to be how it is if things do go well.
You just want to spend more time in each other's company.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Good stuff. Okay, so we take a walk inside. There's a few things that we can take a look at inside. Bit of history of the club and a few famous people along the way. Actually, we can say a little bit about the stand here as well. I think you're going to mention that.
So, sadly, we've lost one of our club legends just when the pandemic hit, really. Not related to that, but one of our greatest ever players, Barbarian Terry Pryor, passed, and the club and an ex-coach, the club have named our stand after him. And his legacy, he was also a school teacher here, geography teacher and a PE teacher at the local secondary school. So he's someone within the community, had a really high standing and knew a lot of people. So his legacy of, a lot of the success of Redruth Rugby Club over the years has been built on his performance as a player, being a Barbarian and sat on the bench for England, but also as a coach. He's a very knowledgeable, articulate, smart guy, and Redruth play from a young age with the ball in two hands and move the ball, and that legacy is from Terry. So something like the stand to highlights his impact on the club for everyone moving forward is important. So Terry being someone that coached us as well. He's my school teacher.
He coached me. He wasn't a school teacher for me, but he coached me, and he just wanted to be there. He's humble, and he genuinely wanted to be there and genuinely cared. He's not a shouter or anything like that. He just, like Craig said, he's articulate and just, he was asked to come along for a couple of games one season, and he did the whole season with his away games and everything, and just genuinely was delighted to have been asked, and that was it. Then he was back in the groove of coaching for another couple of seasons, and that just says it all. Nice
touch. We've got to walk all the way back up here, haven't we, to get round. I don't fancy hopping over that fence today. I think I might sprain a fetlock the way things are going.
Over that.
Yeah.
It's like that top step is tricky.
So how are you guys looking for this season? Are things shaping up?
Yeah, we were just talking, and having had 2 years out, it's quite interesting where every team is, isn't it? And we're looking good. Play 2-1-2.
Right,
yeah.
okay.
And I suppose players down here aren't looking around so much, and perhaps aren't getting the offers. So it's ideal. We've got that sort of continuity. We've got if you played us a year ago, you're still going to recognise a lot of those faces. If you played us 3 years ago, you're still going to recognise maybe 80% of the squad. So.
Yeah, that's really important, isn't it? I think that, just in terms of the club spirit as much as anything.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go and have a look. There's another Hall of Fame in here. This one's got some different faces on it, though. Here we go. There's a couple of recently famous people down here. Who wants to talk about this, guys?
This could be
Go on, Flacky.
Come on, Pete.
Point out some.
This is some of the legends of the club. Darren Jakes, England Counties Redruth player. Rob Selby, England Sevens player. Richard Keast, another Barbarian. Andy Hawkin, Yeah, Phil Vickery, England captain. Alan Buzzer, another England A player. Richard Sharp, obviously captain us and captain England, absolute legend.
Yeah, we're going to talk about him a little bit more when we go inside, I think.
Yeah, then you've got some of the older players. Bill Bishop there, president of the RFU, and now president for many years. Paddy McGovern, another great back row player who was an international trialist. And then you're going back here to some of the legends, Matthew Davey, a miner that went to South Africa, and we've actually managed to get hold of his club cap.
Right.
So we've got that on show somewhere in there.
Brilliant. That's a long, long history there,
Yes,
isn't it?
absolutely.
Good stuff. Okay, let's move on. Got the team photos on the wall here. Several faces in there that I'd have played against over the years. Which is all nice. Oh, and
some of Terry's achievements and a lot of the teams he was in. But it doesn't really cover half of it when you think of the coaching element, which I think he is coaching in some of these pictures, but yeah. So many years of...
That's the England squad that Terry took part in with a lot of famous faces. Bill Beaumont was his captain, Terry being in the back left corner. We sat on the bench for England. And in those days, because it was injury-only replacements, he didn't get on.
right. So he never got capped?
Yeah, didn't get a full cap.
It was savage, because I think you had to literally have a doctor's note, didn't you?
Yeah,
like back in the day.
It wasn't no tactical substitutions, so...
Yeah. This is
shame.
Carry on
I'm
through.
this is the top bar. This is this is the top bar. Richard Sharp suite. So see, this is all dedicated to Richard Sharp, who
Come this side of you.
go on, who's England player, and yeah, he still comes in and
There he is,
still
isn't it?
watches the
Let's
game.
get this photo involved.
And even
that's
took the
a looking
time out.
fella.
In the last couple of years, I can't remember. In the last couple of years, he's taken the time out to write a letter to say basically like keep up the good work to some of the first team guys, and obviously cares enough to put pen to paper. So it's brilliant.
And how old would he be now?
Oh, I don't know, but he's got to be in his 80s, I
Yes,
would
yeah,
say.
probably
Go on, Flacky will know. He was in the
it's
same
in
school,
the
the same school year, I expect.
Oh, so you're below. It's early to mid-80s now.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay. Fellas, thank you very much. I'm just going to do a little bit of a walk and talk and I'll come back. So lovely being here at Redruth, meeting the people. Played against Pete at least once. Tough competitor, real tough competitor. But, you know, as always, tough games on the field, but really friendly atmosphere. And, you know, you always get a really good day out here at Redruth. So it's going to be me now on to Perranporth and then on to Newquay for the rest of the day. Stick with me and keep watching, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.